What's the haps? I'm John, aka Maroka, and welcome to Spiel. We're here today in Emerald Phantom Tier 3 on Elite. That seems to ring a bell. I mean, I just deleted obviously my notes from last week on my note document. It was Emerald something I did last week. Was it this level? I can't remember. Either way, it's a level I like the look of. It's kind of a mixed, it's kind of mostly beasties, but kind of a mixed bag, so it looks like there's going to be a bunch of things, potentially jellies, potentially undeads. I don't know. There's a few various levels that you could stumble across within the stratum, so it looks interesting. Plus I like beasties. Beasties are fun to stab. So there's that. So let us kick things off, as is tradition, with Spiral Knights news. Yeah. So I guess the main Spiral Knights news you probably heard about, unless you've been living under a rock or something. Chances are you're familiar with what's going down this week. It's not like I didn't do several videos on this last week. This is obviously the Cataclysmic Confrontation. That is totally a thing. So I've got 2 videos showing off 2 of the 3 prestige missions tied to this from last week, plus the old patch notes, so there's plenty of information. As usual, other channels have also done plenty of information on what you need to be doing. The Arsenal podcast being the most notable one. He did a good recap on all the stuffs that goes down and best practices and strategies and things and how to most effectively tackle the event. And I will be taking a purple, because I am thinking of getting a Masquerade at some point in the future. Update on my Steam Wallet account. I have sold a lot of cards to suckers over the last week. I've had some obscure game that I picked up in a bundle, and it turns out some of the cards in it were worth like £1.50 or something close to in it, and I sold like 2 of them to the same guy. Some guy just spent £3 on 2 cards. I'm like, you are an utter sucker, sir. But I will take your money, and I will later invest it into Spiral Knights. So as soon as there's a nice promo comes my way, I'm thinking I actually got enough to buy the new starter bundle thing, whatever it's called. I think that's probably what it's called, the starter bundle. I don't know. Either way, the one that's 7,500 energy plus sparks plus trinkets and doodads and things and loots and shinies. I actually probably have enough money just from that guy almost just to buy that. So I will be investing in that in the future, and that will go into sprites probably for the most part. So that'll be good. I'm waiting for 3 Rings to bring back the old promos though. I ain't sure as heck ain't just buying boxes outright. That's not a promo I'm gonna buy into. So, you done goofed, 3 Rings, if you want my money. Oh, well, it's not my money, it's someone else's money, but hey, I'm gonna spend it. That's the thing. So, there's that. What else? Oh yes, there was a big announcement on Sunday. Not from 3 Rings themselves, although I hear tell they are going to be in some way, shape or form somewhat affiliated with this, which is kind of cool. I don't know the specifics, so you would I need to ask Mr. Latterson Sclay on the specifics. I know I'm involved in this somehow, but I only because he's told me I'm involved in it. I don't know what I'm doing. Apparently I'm involved in the new upcoming project by Latterson and the Arsenal podcast, which is Spiral Lights, which is going to be a charity live stream thing. Correct. Stop me if you heard that one before. So yeah, a little while back, because I obviously did a Spiral Knights charity live stream thing back last November. Lazen came to me and was like, well, I'm planning on doing a charity thing. Do you have any advice or tips or just general, what are your thoughts on doing charity stuff on live streams? And I told him, and he was like, okay, cool. Do you want to be involved in it in some way? I was like, yes, sure, I'll do that. That sounds fun. And I've heard little since. And then on Sunday he says, by the way, here's a big charity thing, here's a load of details, Maroka's going to be involved, and so's all these other people. And I was like, oh yeah, I agreed to that a long time ago, didn't I? That's a thing. So that is coming up. So details, this is going to be running across 2 days, June 6th and 7th, starting at 2 PM on both days and running for, I don't know how many hours, till it's done. Going to be running till it's done. And yeah, it's going to be featuring, it's mostly Latterson, but also other members of the Spiral Knights community, and if you're willing to donate money to the charity, which is Charity Water, you can get involved in stuff. There will be stuff like, I believe they're going to be doing a Are they going to be doing a guild lockdown tournament thingy? Money! I like money. I'm not going to be doing money. That was just money I picked up. They will also be doing shopping list, Spiral Knight shopping list. People want in on that. There is now a way to get in. I forget the specifics. You will have to go to sklayelite.com/arsenal to check out more of the details. It's more specific there than I can remember off the top of my head. But there is a donation tier that if you donate, I don't know if it's $3, $5, $10, what the exact amount is, but there is an amount that if you donate, you can enter into, or have a chance to enter into. Certainly if hundreds of people apply, it might be impractical, but you have a chance to enter into being part of one of the teams for the next Spiral Knight shopping list, which would be kind of cool for you. So there's that. So that is June 6th and 7th from 2 PM on both days, raising money for charity water in Spiral Knights. And I believe there's also a whole bunch of prizes that actually are being provided by 3 Rings for this one, which is also cool. It's a nice, like I say, they are sort of officially involved in some way. Which, like I say, is a mixed bag. I'm going to double check, make sure I've got a thing. Oh, it's more beasts. Damn it. See, we had undead or loot, and I've got beasts. God damn it. Next one should be different. Maybe. Maybe. We shall see. Let's just go stab some freezing beasties. Oh, at least it's lizards. This is different from wolvers. This is fine. I can stab lizard men. Not that they are men, they're just lizards. And I'm frozen. Thank you. Thank you for freeing me, Wolver. Your credit to... well, to me, actually, not to your own team. Your credit to enemy team. That works. So, yeah, there's that, and you should go, and like I say, you should go check out the Arsenal podcast on YouTube, and on livestream.com is where it was announced, and the website, and that's got all the details on Spiral Lights, if you want to know more about that. I'm trapped. And generally, you should just be sort of subscribed to Latizan anyway, because he knows more about Spiral Knights and stuff than me, and is a better source of information on stuffs. I just tend to read out the patch notes. That's all I do. I'm a news guy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just read it. If you want actual practical playing advice, Latizan is a much better man. He has clocked more hours in the game. He's far more invested in the game and far more enthusiastic than I. And his channel is pretty much dedicated to Spiral Knights content. Whereas I do news, editorial stuff. That's probably, not editorial is probably the wrong word. What is the word? Journalistic, that's the thing. I tend to do reviews and critique and stuff, which is that's kind of my bag. In that regard, continuing on, segue, as it were, there is, I was going on about jobs last week. Another job has come up that actually piques my interest. Giant Bomb, of all people, is hiring a bunch of positions, which is kind of cool. They are looking for... I have no idea whether I'm going the right way with this. I never have any idea whether I'm going the right way with this. But they are looking to hire a producer, an editor, and an intern. And they explicitly do say in it they are willing to hire from overseas for the 2 non-intern positions. And reading the job description of what does the editor do, they write about video games and make videos about video games, and one of the prerequisites is you must be comfortable writing about games, and you must be comfortable... 1000th ecto drop. Congratulations, Core Guardian, on your 1000th ecto dropped. You must be comfortable writing about video games, and you must be comfortable in front of a microphone. I'm like, well, yes, I am these things. I am super comfortable doing these things. This is what I do all day, every day. This is what I want to do all day, every day. This is my life. You are describing my life here. I am extremely well qualified to do this kind of work. So, there's that. Ow, that was silly. Ow. That's very silly. I'm really bad at judging the range on my sword when it comes to swinging near explosives, I guess. No. See, I thought that would have detonated that one, but no. No such thing. I could have taken the pill. I did not. Oh, this is the wrong way. It's totally a checkpoint thing. Party button. That's the word. Party button now. So yeah, although the way I found out about the editor job, as well suited to it as I am, I did see, it was on Twitter, someone mentioned, oh, Giant Bomb are hiring, I'm going to apply for this job, and this is someone fairly notable within the games industry already. It was Zoe Quinn, who has made a bunch of games and stuff in the past, and she was like, oh yeah, there's Cara Ellison, some people are saying I'm competing with her for the job, and Cara Ellison is actually a journalist. Zoe Quinn is not. Zoe Quinn is a games developer, so I'm not sure what experience she's got in that. She may have been going for the producer position or something, which would be whatever. But yeah, she's going for the editor position. I'm like, yeah, I know it's kind of a no experience required kind of thing, but at the same time, Cara Ellison she's got many years under her belt writing for Rock Paper Shotgun, which is, you know, I'd have thought a fantastic qualification to apply to other games outlet for. Whereas Zoe Quinn, she makes games, which seems like a weird leap. Like I say, not an unreasonable leap, just kind of a weird leap to go from making games to suddenly, oh, I want to write about games instead and talk about them in videos and stuff. I'm like, really? That's kind of a strange move, but okay. So, are these going to go down? Yes, they are. Come on. So, yeah, I'm competing with some reasonably... If I were to do this, and I probably will, it sounds like I'm going to be competing with reasonably notable names within the industry, and I'm like, well, if I were hiring and some notable games developers came to me and said, I want to do this job, I'd probably be leaning towards them as opposed to some nobody from across the pond. So... that's a thing, and I'm a little dubious about going up against minor video game celebrities in that regard for a job. Just kind of be a really weird scenario to be in, I feel. It would be kind of cool to be maybe working with them, but like I say, it's kind of weird to be competing with them for a job. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Ow! I thought I could make that. I'm not sure how I feel about it all. But hey, that's there. And if you wish to work for Giant Bomb, there's... Why did I go this way? If you wish to work for Giant Bomb, there's nothing to stop you applying as well. They are hiring, and they need interns. If you want a minor position, an editor if you want a major position, or a producer which does something entirely else that I don't know what it is. But hey-ho. There you go! What else was there? Do I have anything else to talk about this week? No, that's the meat of it. Let's do some questions! Questions are a thing that I do. That is part of my spiel, as it were. If you have any questions you wish to ask me about stuffs, about the world, about life in general, advice, hints, tips. I'm not very good at advice, hints, and tips, but hey. If you want anything if you want me to talk about anything, leave me a comment in the comments. Oh, that seems like a logical place to put it. Comments go in the comments. Leave me a question in the comments, something to talk about, and you'll get a minor micro shout out when the time comes for me to read it out. So, this week I have a few. In fact, I have two from Sam Cohn, who left them both last week. Thank you for those. First one is, are you going to be doing more guild spotlights? Ooh, boy, that's dragging up some ancient history, isn't it? When I went to PAX last year, this is PAX 2013, I actually did go to much better lengths than I did this year to get content recorded in advance ahead of time whilst I was out of town for a week. So I was away for a week, and I was like, well, if I make 5 videos ahead of time, I can schedule them to go up Monday through Friday, and that's my thing, because I wasn't doing Saturday and Sunday videos at the time. And the Wednesday video I did was, instead of Spiral Spiel, because I wasn't here to do Spiral Spiel, I met up with Sky Scythe, who I didn't know especially well at the time. I hadn't known him all that long. I hadn't been into the Spiral Knights video making all that long at the time. And I was not in Tainted Perfection at the time, and we wandered around his guild hall, and he did a bunch of interview stuff. I forgot to change weapons! I got a jelly farm and I forgot to change weapons. I've done this before. God damn it! Changing weapons, my only weakness. Let's smash some grass. There we go. Cool. So, yeah, that was not my favourite feature to do ever. I mean, I was not super confident about it. Sky also was not the best no offense to the guy, but he had little experience in front of the camera, so I'd prepared a whole buttload of interview questions to do for him, and I'd sent them to him ahead of time so he knew to be prepared. And what he did was, I was like, "Hi, tell us a bit about you," and then he instantly reeled off in quick succession the answer to all the questions I was planning to ask him over the course of a 20-minute period. He'd answered everything I had planned to ask him within the first 5 minutes. And they kind of left the last sort of 10-15 minutes of us just kind of really awkwardly making small talk while wandering around his guild hall, and it was like, this is not the way I had planned today going, unfortunately. So I'm less enthused about doing more of those just because it didn't work out the way I hoped. I'm not convinced it was super compelling entertainment. No offense, Sky Scythe, but yeah. That was just like, this has gone entirely wrong from what I'd expected it to be. And on top of that, I'm not that well involved in the Spiral Knights community. I don't know many GMs of guilds. Quite frankly, I don't know many guilds. Someone name some guilds. I know some of the big ones. Obviously, I know I have spoken to on a couple of occasions Peronius from the Night's Watch, so maybe him, but I get the impression he's been sort of not playing the game so much lately, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not entirely certain. Someone said the Night's Watch has kind of been quiet of late, so I don't know if they've all gone and done other things, joined other games maybe, who knows. Gempire tend to... With the exception of Latazan, and I don't think he runs the Gempire. If he does, I've been grossly misinformed about the Gempire. I have no idea about the Gempire. Gempire is just kind of one of those guilds that everybody loves to hate, as far as I can make out. Everyone's just like, oh, all they do is Polaris spam in lockdown, and nobody likes them, and they're super elitist, and they got a friggin' waiting list guild. It's like, oh, Gempire waiting list. How elitist can you be that you've got to make another guild that's a waiting list to get into your guild? That's just like height of elitism for me, you know, like I don't like them just because of that almost. Other guilds. I don't know, like I said, I don't know many other guilds. Suppose I could do Dark Arts now, I'm not a member of that anymore, but yeah. After that little incident, I probably wouldn't give them any airtime. Unfortunately. You have one man to blame for that, and yeah. Hey, if he's left, maybe we could make amends, but I don't know. I've heard nothing from Dark Arts since I left. Nobody's gone, oh, it sucks to see you leave, we want you back, but Edwin's being a douche. I probably shouldn't drop names like that, but Edwin was being a douche. He was the douche who kicked me, and then actually the GM invited me back, and Edwin kicked me again, and I was like, well, this isn't going anywhere, I'm just going to find another guild. See you later. So... I don't know. Someone update me on the status of Dark Arts these days, because I have no idea what those guys are doing now. At any rate, yeah, that's the guild spotlights. They probably not going to happen just because I didn't entirely enjoy doing it. Plus, it's a lot of work, and I don't know many guild leaders. There are a lot of things conspiring there to make that not be a very practical thing for me to do. On the whole. So, yes, what else? Sam Cohn also asks, who is your favourite Animal Crossing villager and why? This is obviously following on to my rambling about Animal Crossing last week. Tangy is my favourite. Tangy always was my favourite. Tangy was a cat with the head of an orange. I think she's quite a... I don't know if the algorithm sort of for generating villagers within town sort of favoured certain ones. Tangy was certainly one of those ones that was always on the box art, so it's kind of a notable one, I think. And she definitely appeared both in my GameCube town and my original DS Wild Worlds town. Was it Wild Worlds? Yeah, it was City Folk was the Wii one, and then New Leaf's the new one, isn't it? Yes, so it was Wild World was the second one. Tangy did appear in my town then as well, and I was like, ooh, Tangy's back again. I like Tangy, this is good. I appreciate this turn of events. I'm okay with this. So Tangy was cool. Tangy was a cat with the head of an orange, and what's not to love about that? There was also Bangle, was a character with similar personality that I had in the GameCube version. He was a lion, which was awesome in itself. A freaking lion, man. He had a cool house. Tangy, I think, wins out as favourite, though. The whole citrus theme was kind of cool. She had, like, the orange peel carpet, not orange peel, but orange slice carpet. I don't know what it was called. It was citrus carpet, I think it was what it's called, actually. And in the house, and That was always cool. Bright and orange and cute and fun, and Tangy was awesome. I like Tangy. Beyond that, I don't know where I was going with that. There is no beyond that. No beyond that. Nothing else. That is Animal Crossing. Beyond that, Animal Crossing, Infernal Guardian says, am I from YouTube? Yes, I am, Infernal Guardian. But I am recording, so no. No talkie right now. But, Animal Crossing, I did say last week I would like to do a series. I might not anymore. Just because I actually don't think my computer's up to it. The Dolphin emulator is surprisingly resource intensive when it comes to running games. Even GameCube games, I'm astonished that it is. But, yeah, my computer's not entirely up to that. Basically, it can run at 60 frames per second. And normally YouTube, I'm not terribly fussed about getting 60, as long as it's higher than 30, it's fine, because YouTube doesn't actually display at anything greater than 30. So anything higher than 30 is a waste for recording in my book. I mean, it's nice for playing, but for recording it's no big deal. Unfortunately, the Dolphin emulator, or maybe it's Animal Crossing, I don't know, it's one of those games that's designed weirdly insofar as the frame rate is tied to the game's performance. Basically, if the game runs at 60 frames per second, it plays normally. If it runs at 30 frames per second, the game plays at half speed, which makes the music go slow and your character walks slow and everything happens in sort of slow-mo. And that's really weird, and quite frankly, this does this even when I'm not recording the game. Not that I have been trying to record the game, but I imagine it would, because it happens when I've got my browser window open, to be quite honest with you. Which is ludicrousness. If I minimize my browser window, the game runs back at 60. But if I have stuff like if I'm watching YouTube in the other browser window, suddenly the game slows down and goes at 30 frames per second. So I don't know whether it's poorly optimized, poorly designed, or what. But on the whole, the upshot is that I imagine if I'm running my recording software, I probably won't be able to record. Quite frankly, it's probably going to be running in slow motion, and that would not be a great video, would it? Now, so that is far from ideal. So there is that. So I really, really wish I had brought Asher on or something on this level, because this is getting to be a slow way of dealing with all the things. Yikes. Someone, please, Three Rings, can you please put a big sign before you go through the one-way gate at the start of the level that says, have you checked your loadout yet? Is your loadout appropriate? And you have to click a button that says, okay, my loadout is good. I'm ready to do this level with the loadout I have. I know that would be annoying as heck for most people, but it would work for me. Nobody else would want to deal with that, but I would appreciate that. That way I would remember to do it. It's usually because I'm busy talking about something and I totally forget to do it. I'm like, let's go, I'm ready, let's go, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not ready. I was talking and I distracted myself and I forgot. It's never good. Blazerath asks, what other channels do you ask on... hang on. I'm getting confused by losing keys. Blazerath asks, what other channels do you watch on YouTube? Example of the few I do know would be like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Node, Cinnamon Toast Ken, and so others, but mainly what's yours? I don't actually know all of those. I love the way you reel them off like they're common ones everyone should know. I don't know who Cinnamon Toast Ken is. Markiplier, I've only recently watched anything of his, and oh my god, his voice. That guy has an amazing voice. I am not subscribed to him, but my god, that guy's voice is beautiful. It is like caramel or something, I don't know. It's a beautiful voice. I love it. No wonder he's successful. If I had that voice, I would be far more successful than I am, I suspect. Can I steal his voice? Is it possible to steal a person's voice? I will steal Markiplier's voice. At any rate, PewDiePie, oh, that's a contentious one, isn't it? A lot of your more mature professional YouTubers do tend to object to PewDiePie and his existence, I feel. Certainly, I don't begrudge him his success. He's certainly done what he's done and become massively rich off it, and congratulations to him, but it's just like the general consensus is he's gotten famous and become a millionaire just by screaming obscenities and offensive stuff into a microphone, and it's like, well, that's not a talent, that's just childish. No. And everybody else who's trying to actually do, you know, reasonably professional content is like, well, you know what, everybody else out here is actually making an effort to be professional, and he's just screaming about rape and generally being a horrible person, and somehow that makes him a millionaire. It's like, well, I'm not sure if I like that. I'm actually, you know what, no, I don't like that. And I'm not sure about it, I don't like that. So PewDiePie is a terrible person in my book, but hey-ho, if you like him, you like him. People I do subscribe to, since that was the actual point of the question, people I do subscribe to, who do I subscribe to? Lots of people actually at this point, it keeps slowly growing over time. I do subscribe to the Yogscast. Yogscast, probably one of the first Let's Players I subscribed to, quite insane. Actually no, Kurt was probably the first, Yogscast was probably not terribly long after. I'll get to Kurt in a moment, but yeah, Yogscast is probably like the big one. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't get them, they're not that funny, I don't see why everybody thinks why they're entertaining. I was like, well, oh, was that good fire? That was okay fire. I think they're fairly entertaining. I have no objection to their particular brand of humor. They're pretty good. They're not all good. I dislike the way they just sort of slowly expand their network just by grabbing... It seems like they just grab mates from real life and are like, oh, hi, we know you from school or college or university or whatever. Do you want to make videos with us? And most of them actually genuinely have no talent for doing it whatsoever, unfortunately. Most of them are just kind of really bland and uninspired, and they've just got like 15 channels now, and there's like maybe 3 good ones. It's like, well, Simon and Lewis are good. Duncan is good when he's with Simon and Lewis, but his solo content's not great. Martin Littlewood, he got into them independently, doing his own thing, so he's not bad. Strippin was just kind of one of those guys that, yeah, it feels like they just grabbed. Hannah is, you know, dating the producer, you know. I mean, a rather offensive way to say it, but sleeping her way to the top, you know. You know, it's sort of not done on any kind of merit just because she happens to be dating Lewis, which is, well, you know, it's not my place to judge Lewis's decisions, but it's not the best decision in the world, I don't feel, but whatever. Yogscast Kim, actually, she's got into it from a journalism perspective. She did a lot of writing for a lot of stuff, and actually I do find her stuff quite entertaining. She's good. Her channel does do some good content, yes. I enjoy Kim's stuff. Because, like I say, you know, coming from an actual journalism background, she's used to actually making good content about video games, so she knows her stuff, and is capable about talking about it well. So that's good. Mindcrack is another big network of people that I'm subscribed to a few from. Kurt was obviously probably the first I subscribed to on YouTube. He's doing Farlands or Bust, which is obviously the main inspiration behind this series here today, which is talking about random stuff while playing video games. I'm not doing the whole charity aspect like he is, but I'm talking about random stuff while playing video games. And that's the thing. I have about 3 minutes before I'm running long, and I've got loads more to do. Whoops, let's keep going. Generic B and BOO, the B team, they are both very entertaining guys, especially when they do stuff together. Milby I got into him when he was doing Kato Shoujo a while back, because his stuff was hilarious, the Kato Shoujo, and there's like 110 or something episodes of that, which runs to 66 hours total. I watched that entire series in its entirety. 66 hours worth of him playing through a visual novel 5 times over. An erotic visual novel, no less. And it's hilarious. And he got himself banned from YouTube doing it, and then got back onto YouTube when he was appealed by Polaris, because he's with Polaris. And that's totally worth watching. If you've got 66 hours to spare, what are we doing? Have I got the right loadout here? If you've got 66 hours to spare, go and watch Milby's Kato Shoujo series, because it's amazing. It's totally worth watching. There is also Vex. Vex is the author of the super hostile maps in Minecraft, and he's quite an entertaining guy in his own right. He's sometimes just a bit ridiculously silly, but it's all good entertainment. He's worth watching, and he does do a lot of stuff where he really knows his stuff about like the mechanics of Minecraft. He's not a redstone guy, but when it comes to sort of doing custom maps and stuff and building contraptions out of things like custom mob spawners and stuff, he really does know his stuff, and his stuff's absolutely... That's very much worth watching. His test world stuff, where he's just building stuff and experimenting and seeing how various mechanics work. Those are very useful if you're a Minecraft player, and worth keeping an eye on. In Spiral Knights, I am subscribed to Latizen, obviously. We've been over that a million and one times, and you should be subscribed to him also. Chalk3 does not update terribly often. I think he does one video every 2 weeks, I think is kind of his schedule, but his production values are far more than just talking to a microphone while playing games. He records a lot of footage, annotates it, and does stuff, and it's generally sort of weapon demonstrations and stuff. But he's got 4,000 subscribers to my 700. I would broadly suspect most people who are subscribed to my channel probably already are subscribed to him. He probably doesn't actually need the shout out, but in the unusual instance that some of you might not be aware of his work, you should totally be checking out his work. I think he's a member of the Spiral Knights Network. He should be a member of the Spiral Knights Network, which is us, Spiral Knights content creators group. But we have not managed to drag him into doing stuff with us yet. I feel like we should get him in for a shopping list or something at some point. That would be quite a cool thing. I would love to team up with Chalk3. Also, Sir Jinxable. Yes, if you're not familiar with Sir Jinxable, his channel is about the same size as mine, actually. So yeah, you might not be familiar with his. He does the Spiral Knights animes, or animations, or whatever you want to call it, SKAs, and he does a lot of quite talented animations using the Spiral Spy program, which is kind of cool. So if you want a bit of entertainment, go check that out. Beyond that, Strangelands. The Strangelands guys, obviously I do my Minecraft stuff with them. They are all fairly entertaining. Of them, the only one I actually do subscribe to, and I know Mod had a go at Brian Log on 111 the other day for not subscribing to everyone in Strangelands, but I don't either. I actually only subscribe to Mods from the Strangelands guys. Because Mod's quite entertaining. Again, if you're into the sort of Farlands or Bust stroke Spiral Spiel kind of format of stuff, Mod is doing also a very similar kind of series in Euro Truck Simulator. In fact, he is doing it as a charity fundraiser. He's trying to drive 1 million miles total within Euro Truck Simulator, and that's a lot. That is a lot. That's going to be going a while. So, yeah, he'll do, I don't know, anywhere between half an hour and an hour twice a week, in which he will answer user questions, much like I do, and he's generally quite an entertaining guy. And for some reason, Euro Truck Simulator works really well for that format. It's one of those ones where the content's sort of, yeah, secondary to what's going on. I think maybe Spiral Knights are a little bit too active, what with me fighting stuff, but hey-ho. I'm stuck with this format now, I cannot change it, it's too late to go back. But yeah, Euro Truck Simulator works very good for the Farlands or Bust kind of style format. And that's worth checking out. He does a bunch of other stuff as well, he's quite a lot of racing stuff. If you're into racing, he's probably worth watching him and his little network of friends for racing content, because they're big into that. Total Biscuit, a little surprised that I subscribe to Total Biscuit. Total Biscuit is very, very, very obviously a major influence on my channel. No secret there. Katabos is a guy I found through... Hello, this is a nice little scenario room. Katabos is a guy I found through the Let's Play subreddit at some point, I believe. He's also he's a guy with a great voice. He does a lot of indie review stuff, although I'm not convinced I can totally trust his opinion on stuff. He's kind of, well, he's one of these guys who seems to love everything. There was a game he did a while back that was kind of mediocre, and he was like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, and then it came out on Steam the other day and Total Biscuit played it, and it was like, oh, this is terrible, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought about it first time he looked at it, but he was just absolutely fawning over it like crazy before, and I was like, yeah, you just seem to love everything, so whatever. He's got a great voice, so. And one more thing before I go, by the way. Captain Disillusion. Captain Disillusion is not a Let's Player. This is totally different content, but you should totally subscribe to him because his stuff's amazing. He puts out videos very, very rarely. He's put out like 2 in the last year, but his production quality is very high. What he does is he finds sort of hoax videos and stuff, things that are rather sensationalist stuff like ghost videos and stuff like that. There was one video that went viral a while back where some guy was throwing glasses at his friend, and his friend would catch them on his face. And they did this in all sorts of stunts, like cars driving past and on a skateboard and stuff. And Captain Disillusion was like, well, if you take the video and you play it backwards, you can just see it following the path of the string. You know, it's basically being pulled away on a string. And he debunks lots of videos like that, and it's all fascinating stuff if you're into sort of how videos are made and things like that, so it's kind of cool. So yeah, he's worth checking out as well. So that's about all for today. I've run a little bit long, sorry about that. So thank you very much for watching. I have been Moroka. This has been Spiel. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're not already, and leave a comment below if you want me to talk about something next week. Comments are always appreciated. My stock is continually running low and needs to be topped up by you good folks. So thank you very much for watching again, and I shall see you next time.